Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and this morning we're bringing you your weather, water, and trail chatter report. And we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about this morning. So, Mary's going to start with the weather and water, and after we'll talk about some news that's happening in Georgia and around the world. All right, take it away, man.
Thank you, Donald. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning here in Blairsville right now. It is 64 degrees and clear. Today we're looking at a high of 88 with some sunshine and a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. And then tonight, 65, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Partly cloudy skies overnight. Winds will be light and variable today and tonight. And then up on Blood Mountain today, 79 degrees, sunny, 5-mile-per-hour winds. With a day like today, if you're up on Blood Mountain or any of these lookouts, you should have a great view. Everything's clear and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then tonight, 65 degrees, mostly clear, 5-mile-per-hour winds. Water's good on the trail right now. Still make sure you top off at Hawk Mountain Shelter. As you're hiking north, you have 6.2 miles until Justice Creek, and you want to make sure you have enough water to get through that stretch. Right now, as you're getting ready to climb Blood Mountain, Slaughter Creek does have a little bit of water. Make sure you top off there. That will be your last source until you get to Neal Gap. All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the shelter closures. We do have the closure down at Springer Mountain Shelter due to bears. We're also looking at up in the Smokies closures due to bears, Molly's Ridge, Icewater Springs Shelter, and Peck's Corner campsites number 49 and 90. Also up in the Smokies, bear warnings, Charlie's Bunyan, and then campsites 21, 86, and 13. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Donald. We're going to talk about some other stuff we have going on out here. Donald?
All right, sweet. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, guys. All right, so what do we got going on today?
It's here and then the other page, and then we have that there.
All right, sweet. All right, I wanted to start with a 55-year-old hiker from Texas that was rescued from the presidential range in the White Mountains. Her name was Caroline Wilson. She originally was not able to walk, and then she couldn't talk or anything from hypothermia. So her husband called 911, and he reported she was not able to hike. She was on the Gulf Side Trail between Mount Washington and Mount Jefferson, about a mile north of the Mount Washington Railway. Around 5 p.m. Friday, rescuers used the cog to skip a 3-mile hike up the Jewel Trail to the West Side Trail, where they hiked the rest of the way, which is about a mile up to where Carolyn was. The weather up there at this time was 120 miles per hour winds with a 20-degree Fahrenheit temp. So there was rain, there was wind, and they were able to build a temporary shelter, get her inside to warm her up, and then they loaded her when they got her stable and warmed up a little bit. They were able to hike her down to the cog that was waiting for her about a mile down trail. They loaded her onto a litter and they all hiked her down. So awesome for the rescuers, awesome for the hikers. They also said that there were numerous calls or multiple calls that day for hypothermic hikers. So yeah, that's what went on there. Don't know exactly what went on, man, but be very careful, guys, out especially up there with the. It's been recorded that they have some of the coldest, craziest winds up there, weather, everything, man, on Washington. So, I don't know exactly what happened, but please be aware of the weather, meaning if you're gonna go up there, man, especially this time of year, we're still in mid-June, or, we're getting towards the end of June, but the weather up north is much different, man. I mean, it really isn't. It's just at the end of it. So in the higher elevations, we can see snow still up there, man, or just cold weather with rain and sleet, and that's even worse than snow sometimes, man, because you're getting wet. So if you're not prepared properly, you're gonna get hurt possibly. So that being said, just check the weather and see what's going on, and don't think that you're gonna walk in 120-mile wind with rain and stuff, man. Don't even bother. Just rest for the day, have a good time, drink some beers, go to town. Just stay away from the mountains when it's like that, man. Okay, and so next we had 2 hikers rescued from a trail in the Presidio after suffering heat-related injuries Saturday afternoon. The San Francisco Fire Department said both were transported to a local hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. San Francisco firefighters also rescued 2 people trapped on the rocks of China Beach cliffs Saturday afternoon. They were not injured but were evaluated by San Francisco Fire Department. Water teams assisted rescue. Let's see. Okay, so we had the recent rescue of 2 hikers on unnecessary mountain near Vancouver. It highlights the potential dangers of relying solely on artificial intelligence for outdoor adventures. These individuals found themselves in a life-threatening situation after following directions generated by ChatGPT and Google Maps to plan their hiking route. They were unprepared and wore only flat-soled sneakers, unaware that mountain peaks in the Vancouver region. This required search and rescue and an end well. This is a reminder to all of us, do not rely simply on our devices all the time. You have to research areas. AI is picking apart, like, what I've noticed is they pick like Reddit and Quora and places on Facebook and Instagram, and they pick out what everyone's saying or the most people are saying, and then they generate an answer for you, man, is what I see. Does that sound about right?
It does.
And so when they do that, man, for instance, I'm going to use the bear situation up at Neil Gap. So if someone asked if there were bears up there, you'd probably see the Reddit and the Facebook where those people were saying, it's not a bear, it's a crackhead.
That's right.
So when they punch it in and the AI comes up, it's going to be picking stuff like that and saying, oh, well, there's only crackheads over there, or something similar. I'm not going to say that they're saying crackheads, but it's going to be like there could be potential threats of people stealing your backpacks from what Jimmy said in the Facebook group. You know what I mean, man? And that's the same thing you're going to get if you're reading the AI for asking about the terrain or what to expect in these places. Well, that's like the Canadian Rockies, man. That's not some place you go with some flat-soled shoes and without gear, man. I'm blown away that someone actually just read AI and called it good. But I'm not actually.
Inexperience.
Yeah. It's not only that. I think there are so many people out here that just don't know. They don't know, and a lot of them depend on the computer to tell them what to do. I mean, I go to Google search when I'm looking for something, but when I go there, I also start researching everything I can. I just soak it all up, man. I don't just go for one answer and call it good. I got to see it like over on page 6. I'm still reading. You know what I mean?
I think that's like a lot of things that we do, you know, now you can't just read that one thing. You have to do your research. And, you know, if something continuously falls in line of this is what to expect, this is what you need, chances are that's probably what you're expecting and needing. Always do your research. Find out for yourself what's going on.
Yes, and also I want to add to that. Not only do your research, but look at where the research is, where your information is
Yes,
coming from.
yes.
Also, man, I usually when I see someone saying something, like trying to be that person that knows it all, I usually go into their page and start looking at what they do. And you know, if 9 times out of 10, usually the loudest mouth is just a loudmouth. And so when I go and look at their pages and stuff, man, no matter what it is, I'm a car head, so I'm always on car pages. And you know, car guys, man, they get into it a little bit sometimes, man, about whose car is faster and whatever, man. So anyways, man, I've been in many, but also I like to read what's going on, and I go and look at the loudest mouths, and you know, just seeing what's going on. Not just the loudest mouths, I mean just all comments, but and then I look at what they're about, man, and usually the loudest ones don't even have anything. You know what I mean? It's like
Nothing
that.
more than opinion.
Right, man. They don't have like a nice car or a fast car, not even a nice car, just a fast car, or they're just talking smack. You know what I mean? Same thing goes with hiking, man. I see them. I call them armchair hikers, man. They're always the loudest people, and you know, you can't even say anything to them because they're ready to fight you or put you down or be condescending or just. And it's really disappointing actually to see that stuff, man. You know what I mean, dude? Because like I'm cool to everyone until they start to disrespect me. And then, you know, I start to say stuff. And it's unfortunate that it has to be like that, man. All I really want to do is just give good, solid information from my experience of both being a hiker and a business owner that works with hikers every single day, man. And so I might not get out on trail much anymore, man, but I still know everything about this place. So it's my job to keep the safe, it's our job. Jordan, Mary, myself, and all the people along the trail, it's all of our jobs, man. But especially ours to know what to tell the hiker when they call us up and ask us a question. Hey, man, you're going from Amicalola, your first time out here. Well, Springer Mountain Shelter's closed right now. So if you're expecting to do the 8.5 and crash out on top of Springer, you're shit out of luck, man. You're gonna have to hike a little bit further to a different area because you can't camp up there right now. They don't know that. I mean, I've talked to numerous people this week that I've had to tell that. And they're like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
And
What's
that's
going on, my friend?
exactly what I told the hikers that I brought down from Byron Reese yesterday. They were going to Amicalola, and you know, we're talking about what to expect in the first 40-ish miles, and I said, the Springer Mountain Shelter is closed, and you know, they did have to seek alternate, and they were very grateful for that information, because that's where they were planning on staying.
Exactly, man.
So,
And
you know, you need to know these things out here and have accurate facts, like you're saying.
Exactly. And so if Springer Mountain Shelter is being violated by bears or people are getting harassed up there, Black Mountain Shelter also is probably going to have issues. And Black Mountain Shelter is 1 mile south of, it's at the bottom of the mountain before you climb up to Springer. So coming from Amicalola. And so it's 1 mile away, man. Same with Stover Creek. So I saw on Reddit, I think people don't actually believe that there's an issue because people were kind of, I saw this person post that, oh, there really are bears up at Springer. That's not that's not, it's serious. And it's like, well, what do you think, man? You think it's just like fake, dude?
Right.
People are shutting it down just to be a jerk, man? Absolutely not, man. There's definitely a bear issue here in Georgia this year, and it's the worst that I have seen it, man.
I think here in the Smokies also, it's a lot of bear activity, and I agree with you, the worse that you've seen it and that I've seen it, I agree with that.
And so I posted something on Reddit yesterday about the bear activity and stuff, and I've had quite a few people respond to it and comment. It's all been good stuff so far. I mean, a few things, man. I don't know why people are always protecting like through hikers for some. It's not through hikers, and it's like no one said it was through hikers, bro. You know what I mean, man? But the whole point is this morning when I got on there was a person that left a comment that said they were up there last night at Molly's Ridge, or at campsite 113, and Mama Bear and the cub or cubs came out, and they saw him about 15 minutes from 113 campsite, so probably 3/4 of a mile or something. He was with his daughter, and they were going to cook some food and stuff and camp out, and they've decided not to because of the bear issues. So they walked back down to Fontana to their car and went to Robbinsville. But the whole point is of me saying this, man, is there are definitely bear issues up there, and they're not going to ease up until we stop doing what we're doing out here, man. And it has a lot to do with everything. It's not just through hikers or aspiring through hikers or day hikers or however people would like to categorize it, or just tourists. I mean, this guy was blaming tourists and everything. It's like, dude, it's not just the tourists, bro.
It's everybody.
It's
from
everyone, man. It's all of us. It's cooking at the gaps, man. That smell is just wafting everywhere, man. And the bears are coming, man. Like I was telling that story, the reason I tell this story about the Smoky Mountains where we're cooking the food up at Standing Bear, I tell that story for a reason, because that smell attracted the bear. It was nothing else but the odor. That bear smelled the food and came to it.
That's right.
And so I believe Cody killed that bear 2 years later because it charged him. But Morgan, that used to live up at Standing, they took his gun and stuff, the DNR and shit, because he reported it. But that bear charged him, and it was a big old 400-pound male.
It was a very big bear.
It was a big old black bear, man. But the reason I tell that story, man, is because that smell, man, it's going everywhere, and those bears are coming to it. So when people come and cook their food out here, man, those bears are smelling that, and they're coming back to it and coming back to it. And I believe that's what's causing, not just everything, the cooking at the gaps, the people that just trash throw all their food in the fire pits and leave their food that's too heavy in the shelters, thinking the next person's going to come along and pick it up. But really, the coons and bears and the possum and birds and everything else is getting it before anyone else does. I've seen so many things left in shelters, man. People think that's like a hiker box. Absolutely not, man. We need to carry our stuff out.
That's right.
I had a person that told me yesterday that they had these aspiring through hikers up in the Shenandoahs that were teaching new hikers to put everything in the fire pit and burn it. And so that's absolutely not what we should be doing. Someone else told me about 2 weeks ago they were up at a shelter, and it was here in Georgia, and there were a bunch of Cub Scouts there, man, and they cooked up this huge meal, man, and they took the meal after. I mean, they offered everyone some, but what was left over, they took it, dug a big hole by the shelter, and buried it there, man. And so, no, the animals can smell that stuff, man, unless you're burying it like 50 feet down, man. Not really, but
Something has probably already dug that up and disposed of it.
Definitely.
Because they are going to smell that.
definitely. And when you take your little bit of food and everyone goes and dumps it into the fire pit, or they take it and they dump it off to the side of the shelter, or they dump their ramen noodle juice out or whatever, man. That's all odors that the animals are coming back to, man. Do you see what I'm saying? We all need to stop and think before we do things, and not do this stuff. This has become bad habits
It has.
with everyone. I'm blaming everyone on this, man.
It is everyone.
So I'm not just pointing a finger at a certain group. I'm blaming us all, man. We're all part of this, and we all need to do our part to teach each other, or to teach others, good trail etiquette. Leave no trace. We have to be teachers and students, of course. We're all teachers and students, but we're all stewards of the trail. There's no one person. It isn't up to the Georgia Mountain Club or the GATC, whatever they're called.
That's right.
It's not up to them to clean up after us. It's up to all of us to clean up after each other and ourselves. It's not someone else's job. And so, no, go ahead.
I think that, as Donald is saying, that if we each clean up after ourselves, you know, whether with words or our actions are combined, we're setting a good example for every single person out there. And, you know, maybe it gives them a different view. Maybe they didn't know, and
That's
by
right.
each person's example of doing what's right out there, we're teaching through that, and maybe explaining through words also why we're doing it. And, you know, I had somebody just recently say to me, I did not realize that tossing banana peels or orange
That's
peels
right.
on the trail wasn't right. You know, I think they're biodegradable, they're gonna disappear. But, you know, it is introducing things to the trail that is not there.
Right.
So, they.
And I can see why they would think that. I can totally see why they think that.
Right.
But it's not, we can't be doing that, man. LNT means leave absolutely no trace. We want to leave the smallest footprint we can. Yes, we're walking through the forest, but we're cutting through on one trail, man. And we're not deviating or, you know.
Making new blazings.
That's right.
That's right.
And so it's a designated one path going up to Maine. That's it. And so, and you know, every now and then they make a reroute.
Right.
So this place can get vegetated again or regrowth and stuff, man. And so, or maybe there was a landslide or something, man, because the trail has grown each year at least a mile or two. So, but leave the smallest footprint. And so I hate beating a dead horse, but right now I really believe it needs to be said and just, it needs to be talked about. I see so many people talking about things that just don't matter, I mean, it's cool, man, you know, people doing their things, people doing the FKT or whatever, man, but that's not the important stuff. The important stuff is keeping this trail so people can do the FKT and people can come out here and hike
That's right.
and through to Maine or do whatever they're gonna do. I just think that there's not enough people talking about what really matters to keep this trail working, man. It's all of us, man. Yes, it's part of the FKT too, man. We're all part of this. Every one of us, man. Right. But each part has their place, man. And we all need to be the people that take care of this trail.
If we don't take care of this trail and all trails, they're no longer going to be there for any of us to enjoy and do anything that we're doing out here to recreate.
That's right, man. And, you know, but, all right. And so I don't want to beat a dead horse. Right. I just wanted to discuss the bear issue and because it's so important right now, man. I think it's just the worst it's been. And okay, so did you do this yet?
I did not.
Okay, and so traffic on Highway 40 near Empire was impacted by search and rescue effort. Right lane was closed, mile marker 453, while emergency responders conduct backcountry search and rescue. Will update as progress.
There was nothing else to tell us at the moment.
All right, and so...
and then the only other thing that I have, flip it over, is that there.
Okay, and so guys, for years, this has been a warning. It's in Gut Hooks, a fire out also, and probably on all trails, but at Cow Rock, there is a snake den underneath the rock in the middle of the lookout. So when you walk up, if you're going northbound, you're gonna come down the hill and you're gonna see an opening and there's a big old rock face right there, man, and right smack dab in the middle is a rock where the snakes live in their copperheads. There was a timber under there yesterday, and so those copperheads, man, have been there for years, and there's multiple copperheads, not just one or two. There's like 5 or 6, maybe 7, I don't know how many, but we had some hikers that were assisting send us a pic yesterday. They caught a good pic and also told me the story of some people just sitting up there eating lunch right next to them. They didn't even know they were there. And so all it takes is hopping up on that rock, sitting down, looking at the view, and getting snapped, man, by a copperhead or a timber rattler. And so be very, very careful on Cow Rock, man, for the copperheads and timbers. And they will be in the vicinity also just hanging out and sunning, basking in the sun. So,
We also have several sightings of rattlesnakes up on Blood Mountain.
oh yes,
So, you know,
definitely.
it's warm out. The sun's out. They're out in the sun, like Donald was just saying. Take some extra precaution. They do camouflage very well. Rattlesnakes, the copperheads. When you're reaching, when you're sitting, anything you're doing, take that extra moment.
When you're sitting down on a log on the side of the trail or a rock, look around it, tap it, kick it, make sure there's nothing there, man. The worst thing is getting hit by one of those out in the middle of the forest, man. That's definitely a 911 call or SOS. And it's definitely going to end your hike. And so they say that a good percentage of copperhead bites are dry, man, but you know, don't take the chance. Each person reacts different to whatever it may be, as bee sting, black widow bite, brown recluse, whatever it may be, wolf spider. But you have to just be careful, guys, because they are out. Also, where you see sun, there's probably a snake, so watch the trail. At least you have the snakes, the rattlesnakes will sing.
They let you know.
Yeah, but the copperheads, man, nah, dude, they'll blend right in, dude. They're hard to see, man. They're so hard to see. All right, and so that all being said, we have a few shuttles today. Jordan's down in Atlanta, running a Springer to Atlanta to Springer, and then Mary has a winding to Dix and
A Three Forks to Amicalola.
a 3/4 Amica, and so and it's Sunday morning. It's nice out.
It is.
Sky's clear, gorgeous. It was a gorgeous sunrise. Life's good, guys. If anyone needs anything at all, give us a jingle. We're here for you. One love. Peace.